Hello everybody, Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds, and today I'm up here in Northern Ohio where I was hired to inspect and possibly endorse and issue my endorsement certificate for a 1970 Chevelle SS that will be coming up for sale real soon on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and a couple other sites on the internet. A really cool Flint, Michigan car that's undergoing a restoration and will be completed in the next few weeks and coming up for sale. I will be able to issue my certificate endorsement for this car, Flint, Michigan car, as most Chevelle enthusiasts understand that Flint, Michigan cars just do not have build sheets. So it's the physical characteristics that are here. There is enough physical characteristics about this car to where I will endorse this car as a original L34 SS396 car. So we'll go around the car and talk about some of the main points and let some of the guys see what exactly is here. The owner to the car will use this video to link to his for sale ads when the car does make it to the internet for sale. So here we go. We'll start out at the front and under the hood, and you can see the car is a code 2828 Fathom blue upper and lower, and that's what's on the cow tag as well. It is a 756 trim black bucket seat car. The original door panels do go with the car, with the SS's in the door panels. The console is with the car, and we have the rear panels as well. So we'll go around here to the front side. You can see the original Super Sport hood is still present. It is not a replacement. It is a GM model, and you notice it does not have the provisions for the hood pins, which is correct on a 1970 model Chevelle. There have been some changes in under the hood to speak of, but it's still definitely a nice car. The top tie bar that you see, that is not original to the car. That's off a 71, 72 model, but I do believe the original 70 unit does go with the car. The radiator support is a replacement, and as you can see, the inner fenders are as well. If we can focus on the power brake booster, you can see it's a 99th day, if I can focus, of 70, which definitely falls in line with a second week of April car. Now, we've been over this before, and a lot of you guys may remember when I did the article for Hot Rod Magazine on the 70 Chevelle. The provision for the Turbo 400 must be in the firewall for the provision, because it had a wiring harness that went to the gas pedal switch, so it must be there. But if you'll notice, on this car, being a Flint car, it is kind of hidden behind the wiper motor right there. So on my L34 Atlanta car, that provision is up here. So if you'll notice, back in that article, I did show a couple different locations for that Turbo 400 kickdown switch harness, which goes to the transmission from the gas pedal switch, which I will show you that inside the car in a second. Really nice hood, an original unit, Super Sport, second design. Now we can check out the cow tag like we normally do. Car does have some rust, but it is definitely a repairable car and will be a nice car once it is completed. You can see the 70 for the 1970 model, and then 13637 is a two-door hardtop. The FL is a designation for the Flint, Michigan plan, and of course we see the 2211974 will be a body number. 756 we know is black bucket seat interior. This car also had console, automatic in the floor, and then the 2828 for Fathom blue upper and lower. 04B for the second week of April. Now, without some sort of documentation to this car, there is no way to prove whether the car was a D88 car or not. Of course, it has stripes now, and the dimensions of those stripes are not exactly correct, but that's very common on a car that has had, of course, like most cars, it's not original paint car. This car does have original Super Sport fenders, original door. This door here has been changed. The passenger door is original, and I will explain that in a second. The quarter panels have had half patch panels. The upper portion is still original to the car, so the lower portion has been patched, but the original portion is still with the car, and no remnants of any Malibu chrome is present. The car does have SS454 insignias on the fenders, but this car is an L34 396 car. It also has the correct April-built CCF 331 posi traction rear axle in the rear. Another thing that I want to point out here is the glass on the car. All of the glass to the car, aside from the windshield and this driver's door, is authentic to the car, but this particular window glass here is what led me to believe, along with the color of the primer on the inside, led me to believe that this door had been changed. And you can see that date of TA. T would be 70 and A is September of 70. So that's a late door, a late dated piece of glass. And if you notice on the inside, you can see the red oxide primer, or so it appears to be red oxide from what I can tell. And that would be not from this car. This car does not have red oxide primer anywhere else other than in this door. Now I'd like for you to focus your attention like we were talking about before. And if you can see on the kick down switch that goes to the gas pedal is right there. So it goes directly from there to the gas pedal. Now that has to be present on a Turbo 400 car. Another characteristic I'd like you to focus on, if you can see that green tape around the wiring harness, it has BN, Bob Nancy. I don't know if I can focus on the BN, but Bob Nancy is the infamous code for the correct wiring harness for the tack engages. This car does have tack engages in the car and a 70 model, of course, Super Sport dash. And if you'll notice, the tachometer, the ink stamp on the tachometer is April the 10th of 70, or at least that's the way it appears to be. So this dash definitely appears to be the original dash to this car with the GK, which is the correct call out for the tack engage cluster. So, and of course, now most Chevelle enthusiasts understand, I'll point out, but the wood grain in the center of the steering wheel is incorrect. You can see the oil pressure that was drilled in the dash, that's also incorrect. But this was a bucket seat floor shift automatic car. It does have floor pans that have been changed, and also the trunk pans have been changed. If you can focus on this piece of glass, the L would be March of 1970 and T would be for 70. So that piece of glass still remains with the car, and there's no remnants of Malibu molding inside the quarter panel, which would have been in this area. So that is not present as well. If you also can see that at some point a police officer owned this car in 1985 and had a window sticker back there. So back here, the car seems to be in pretty good shape, and a lot of times this rear deck shelf is always cut up and butchered, but this one looks to be fairly intact. There's a little bit of cutting going on, but as far as rust and butchered, you know, a lot of guys put 4 or 5 speakers back here. It's very common back in the 70s and 80s to do that to these cars. And you can see right here the original stamp for the assembly line quarter panel still present. Again, the car does have some rust, which will be repaired, and the rear floor trunk pans will be replaced, and they currently are under that process as we speak. Going down this side, the rear bumper appears to have a reproduction pad, and then the bumper bolts are the raised version, which is incorrect. So we can tell that the rear bumper has been off and put back on, but the way it appears to be an original GM bumper and a reproduction pad that was tried to glue on. We've spoke about this before. You can see how it doesn't really glue very good. That's one indication that the rear bumper has a reproduction bumper pad. So down this side we go. We'll check out the glass on this side as well. On TX, that's February. X is February, T is 70. And then on this one, glass isn't all the way up. So I may roll it up and see if we can see a little better. Okay, another thing I'd like for you to focus on, which is sometimes common on a bucket seat car. Sometimes bucket seat cars still got the blower provision for a bench seat, whereas on a bucket seat car come out on both sides. That particular unit is for a bench seat. And another look down in the dash, and we also have a correct floor shift steering column for an automatic. And if you'll notice, if you look inside this door, totally different, and this matches the inside of the rest of the car, which would explain why this window glass is dated correct. So you can see GT. G is April of 70 and T is 70. So that would be correct. So that explains the door being correct. This door is also a Super Sport door. If you look in the, I could get you to focus, I doubt I can, but well, I'll try. If you look inside of the quarter panel at Pi, there's no provision for any Malibu molding as well. So what you see is what you get. Definitely a nice car that needs a lot of work, you know. A lot of these cars, you know, they're 50. A lot of these cars need work, you know. They're 50, over 51, 52, going on 52 years old. So some of them do have rust, and then they're going to need to be repaired. That 454 has been replaced. It was a 396, but that is an original Super Sport fender. I'll lay down here and show you the rear axle and the correct lower suspension for the F41 is also in place. You see the correct Super Sport braces on the front, and then the casting date on this rear axle is C23 of 70. So March 23rd of 70 definitely falls in line with an April built car. But you look down the side, now that we're down here this low, pretty straight car, but it will need some repairs that it is going to get. And now if you want to, I will show you the correct stamping on the rear axle while we're at it. And if we can focus, you can see CCF 04 March 01 Buffalo second shift. So April Fool's Day of 1970. 331 posi traction would be correct for a 70 Chevelle Super Sport car. Doesn't prove the car to be a Super Sport because that rear axle was available, but we have Super Sport characteristics all over the car. So this car definitely was born an SS396 car, in my estimation. Therefore, it will receive my endorsement to the SS396 driveline. Been some changes done, but all in all, it's a good car that will be sold coming up really soon in the near future, either on Facebook, Craigslist, eBay, and a few other places. It will be up for sale. Really nice car. I'll back up and let you see a little more. Again, I'm Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds. I'm up here in Northern Ohio with a nice 70 Chevelle Flint, Michigan built car. If you need my assistance authenticating your 1970 Chevelle or are interested in my endorsement and inspection on your car, whether you're selling or buying, you please contact me at Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds on Facebook and YouTube. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate all the participation. I like it when guys say that they're learning certain things from my videos. That's the reason why the videos are being put out there, to assist others to go out and be able to make purchases, wise purchases on their own. But I do not recommend doing high dollar purchases on such like LS6's cars and cars like that without expert inspection first, because you just can't catch just can't catch you guys up that fast. So it doesn't make sense to make a real high dollar purchase without an inspection. But I am also very glad and very proud to help teach a lot of guys to help you, buy certain things on your own. So that's part of the reason why this channel was created, is to help others. Again, I'm Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds. I'm up here in Northern Ohio with a 1970 Chevelle that will go up for sale very soon. Facebook, YouTube, and Craigslist. Thanks for watching. More videos on the way.